Hi, my name is Jack Sanders. In Soundboard Volume 39, Number 4, I wrote an article called Guitar Inspector, in which I focused on what I call reactionary movement. Reactionary movement is when you have a finger either sticking out or pulling in while you're using other fingers. It's detrimental to your guitar playing and you want to try to gain control over it. First, we need to discover how to involve that muscle so we can kind of pinpoint it. So if I have a problem with my finger sticking out in my right hand like so, I might sit at the guitar, activate that motion, hold it for a minute, then relax. Hold it out, relax. And then learn to target those muscles and gain control over the tension and relaxation of that movement. Similarly, if I have a problem with my pinky pulling in, then I'll feel the muscles on the underside of my arm tensing up, and then I'll relax. Tense up, relax. That brings up an issue that I'd like to share with you, how to relax. One thing that I find is very helpful is to do this exercise with either hand. Strain and stretch your hand as far apart as you can. Get your fingers really stretched out and hold it for a moment. Then release. Now gently do the same motion without the strain. As you do that, you can feel the muscles in your arm stretching as if they're a spring. Then you release. So stretch the spring, release. Stretch the spring, release. So while your hand is in the released motion, that's where you want to be as much as possible while you play. If my fingers are moving and I feel really loose and light, that's a good thing. The left hand usually involves fingers sticking out, like the fourth finger when you play the third, or sometimes when you play the second, the third and fourth fingers will stick out, or they'll pull in. Again, that's not a good sign, and you want to work on getting rid of that. The left hand can be improved by exploring how the weight of the arm can help you hold notes down. You can use what you can call an anchor point. If I have a bar, for example, and I drop the weight of my arm on that bar, that will free up these other three fingers. They won't be sticking out like so. If I have an enormous amount of squeezing, clamping tension from my thumb and my index finger, most likely my other fingers will tend to want to go out like that or pull in. Neither is a good sign. So if you drop the weight of your arm on the guitar and have a gentle pull with your left biceps, that will help you get a nice clear bar without a lot of struggle and strain. A good exercise that you can explore is to feel your hand release like we did when we did that exercise a moment ago. Drop the weight and pull gently with your bicep and then release. Think weight, unweight, weight, unweight, weight, unweight, weight, unweight. As you drop the weight, you should feel a gentle pulling of the guitar this way. The weight of your right arm helps balance that and keep the guitar from having excess motion. Unweight, weight, unweight, weight. An exercise that my teacher Stuart Fox showed me in college was where you place a bar at the 3rd fret and play left hand slurs on the 5th fret. The 4th finger, or the 3rd, in the old days, when I did that exercise, my hand would just feel horrible. I felt very stiff, I felt very weak, and I actually felt pain in my thumb muscle. Then when I discovered how to use my weight properly, the anchor point, all of a sudden I discovered that that exercise was relatively easy. And you notice that when I'm moving my fourth finger, my third finger is moving freely along with it. Or if I play my third finger, the second and fourth mirror the movement of that third finger. That's a sure sign that my muscles are working properly, I'm using the weight of my arm properly, and I'm having a gentle pull with my left bicep. It's very important to have the majority of your motion be a pulling motion, not a pushing motion. You don't want to be pushing more with your thumb than you are pulling with your arm. I like to think that with my left arm, I get 40% of the energy needed to play notes by using the weight of my arm. So I feel a gentle drop of the weight. Secondly, I feel that another 40% of the pressure from my fingers comes from pulling gently with my biceps. Third, about 20% of my left pressure comes from thumb. And the thumb, I always want to be focusing on releasing it. Whenever I move, say from there to there, I completely let go of my hand and feel my thumb release. It's very important. So I feel weight, pull with the bicep, gentle pressure with the thumb, then release. Weight, gentle pressure with the bicep, release. Weight, release. Weight, release. And if I involve the other fingers, same thing. So, if you play a scale, one thing that you can experiment with is taking your left thumb off of the back of the neck while you play that scale. This will help you get a sense of playing by using the biceps. So if I pull gently with my arm, I can feel my biceps doing some of the work. My thumb is pretty loose. Then when I put my thumb there, I want to feel that my thumb is just helping with the balance more than anything else. But the pressure or the pull of my bicep remains. That loosens up my fingers and my thumb, and I don't have to worry about overusing this muscle right here on my thumb. Now, with the right arm, I'd like you to loosen up the bicep by doing this exercise. Normally we move only about this far when we change from the first string to the sixth string. What I'd like you to do is go well beyond, above and below. And just feel that your arm is nice and loose. This is using both your biceps and your triceps muscles, okay? But we're not locking them up and getting rigid. So you do that, and you feel nice and loose, and then put your fingers to the string and play. And release. And feel nice and relaxed. Getting back to the reactionary movement, one thing that you can do with both exercises and pieces is to play incredibly quiet. If you play with a super quiet dynamic, that will help you reduce the amount of strain and struggle in your arm, and that often makes a significant impact on the amount of reactionary movement that you might feel at any given point. Then, another issue that I'd like you to explore with the right arm is using the weight of your arm and your thumb to help loosen up the bicep. When you're playing, say, a free stroke on the second string, if I put a little bit of weight on my thumb on the third string, that will tend to loosen up my bicep and everything in my arm. One thing that's very important to realize is that larger muscles tend to influence smaller muscles. If I show you how strong I am and flex my bicep like this, without even thinking of it, I'll automatically tense up the muscles in my forearm and my hand. It's very difficult to tense up the muscle, your bicep muscle, and keep your hand relaxed. It doesn't feel quite natural. So, on the flip side, if you can relax your bicep muscle, then that tends to relax the muscles up on the upper part of your arm, including your hand. So by putting a little bit of weight, supporting your hand and your arm on a string and playing, that will loosen up your bicep, make your arm feel better, and almost invariably get rid of any reactionary movement that you might have. I hope these suggestions help. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you place comments on this YouTube page. And best wishes to all of you. Thank you.